Welcome to another episode of Driving to the Res with your favorite hosts, Larry
and Inelia.
Yep.
Yay.
Another week.
Another week, another dollar.
Well, yeah, another week, another dollar. We were talking about dollars earlier yesterday.
We did?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We were talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, remember?
Yep. And energy exchange, plus also the Spirit of Money exercise. That's at ineliabenz.com.
Yeah, that's a good one if you have a little bit of issue with the money coming in.
Yeah.
And go do that exercise for a little while.
Or you have any belief systems that tell you that money's evil or bad, so you block it. I can tell you right now that all those programs are there to disempower you, so you don't become a well-abled, powerful light worker.
Yeah, because I promise you the dark workers don't have that same program going.
No.
They have the other program.
Yeah. And they can make movies and launch satellites. Can you imagine launching a satellite that supports life on Earth while you have
emits
cell phone?
532 or whatever that hertz is. Like a blanket of,
goodness while you talk
covering
on your
the
phone.
planet. While you're talking on your phone, you're expressing a frequency of
Love.
Boy, that would be pretty interesting. That's kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah. So all light workers go and do the reconnection with the money, the Spirit of Money exercise at the website ineliabenz.com and get doing.
Get doing.
Launch those satellites, man. High frequency. Put those cell phone towers up that are actually high frequency.
Yeah, there are devices that you can buy that like emit the frequency that like helps your body heal and things like that.
Yeah.
Why can't your phone do that?
Exactly, it can.
It could. It should.
Or
all
we
the time.
could get a team to learn how to hack those frequencies on every phone that exists and every tower that exists.
Yeah, there you go.
And change it. The Organite doesn't quite do the job, we found.
Yeah, not quite.
No,
I mean, it has its utilities, but
it doesn't
honestly,
quite do the job.
It has like things that it's good at. Like when we were pointing it at a cloud.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite dissolve 5G.
No, it doesn't quite do it.
I'll protect you from it.
I mean, it'd be nice if it did.
It
Sorry,
would be great,
it just doesn't seem to do it.
I've tried everything. It's like we tried it. We got like 10,000 pieces of Organite all over the property.
Yeah, we've seeded
all
the
over
village,
the village and
water tank, and the four corners,
the Olympic Peninsula,
top of the mountains.
Yeah, but no, it just doesn't seem to have done anything actually.
Oh well.
Oh well. So, if you had those billions, then you could pay for a team that can actually, you could, reverse or reprogram your cell phones, put a new chip in that reverses puts the hertz into a supportive hertz rather than a killing hertz.
Mm-hmm. That seems like a good idea. I mean, it's almost like it's intentionally at a bad frequency.
Oh, almost like it's intentional, huh?
Almost. Let's not go there.
Yeah, okay.
Remember, it's a split.
It is. We have to remember this.
And so, consequently, that means the choices need to be
clear,
supported, and clear.
But our choices are supportive Earth, supportive of all animal life and all plants and all people. Yeah, that's our choice. So we need to bring that about. We have to embody that. We have to empower it. We have to organize it, orchestrate it.
We can't just wait for the dark workers to bring it?
No, they're not gonna.
Oh, jeez. That's why it's taking so long. Leaders need to lead?
Yeah, leaders need to lead into new structures. Forget the old.
Yeah, I guess Apple made the first iPhone from nothing, right? Or it's like, we're doing computers. Okay, I think we'll make a phone. Everybody thought that was a ridiculous thing. So I suppose we could do the same. I'm going to need a few engineers.
Yep, and
Fred?
you need to pay them.
Alrighty. When you look at it from one perspective, it seems like, oh, that's a perfect solution. And then the other perspective is like, I don't really want to engineer a new phone.
Why not?
Well, I like my phone just fine. The emissions that it makes are invisible. I know they're probably harmful, but It isn't like it would be nice to have a phone that emits a frequency that supports our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to the process of like redesigning a phone from the beginning. It's like
What
maybe
I said,
if we just talk to hack it.
Yeah, that's what I said. We pay a team of engineers to hack phones so that they emit and receive high frequency things anyway. And people say, oh, yeah, I have a little sign or whatever that I put in the back of my phone and it does it. But I haven't seen that.
I see.
I had one of those. Somebody sends it to me. I put it on my phone and I put it against my ear and it burnt my ear off still. Right? So it didn't work. I think it has to be mechanical. The bit that actually receives and broadcasts, the frequency has to be changed. So it has to be tuned like a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guitar you can play all sorts of frequencies and you just tune it and it changes the tone. That's what we need.
Okay. Well, if somebody understands that, then get on it.
Yeah, get on it.
Get on it.
Yes. And do the reconnection with the spirit of money exercise at ineliavents.com so you can have the funds to pay for it. You and others, not by yourself.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, one of the other things that I noticed this week, besides money, was when our friends went to town.
Oh my God.
To go to the lumber store and pick up wood for the solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
They came back sick.
They did.
Both of them.
Yeah. Just one outing, one store.
They got sick in the middle of the store.
In the middle of the store, they started feeling really, really sick.
Yeah.
Just on. I mean, they were perfectly healthy 1 minute, and then they were sick the next. Not come on slowly, you start getting a cold sometimes, and you feel all the symptoms and stuff coming up a few days, and eventually you get sick. Not like that. It was like they were in the middle of the store. One moment they were perfectly healthy, and the next they were sick.
Yeah.
They had to leave.
Right, and that short illness. Short illness, right. It's like an instant effect thing. It's like you're walking along and then you're like hit with it.
Yeah.
And you would say, geez, what did I eat? I must have ate something bad. As a matter of fact, one of our associates, he went to town, had something to eat, and ended up with 0 blood pressure.
Well, they're not associated with us. They're more like somebody we know.
Yes, somebody we know. He's doing good now.
Yeah, okay, good.
But he had a short and sudden illness from lunch.
Yeah.
Like our friends had going to the lumber
store.
store. They had a short and immediate illness, right?
Yeah.
It's like slammed them. And we call it an illness, right? Because we're pre-programmed to say that they got sick.
Right.
Because sick means what?
Some sort of virus?
Some virus, some bacteria, something infected them.
Right. That's what we normally think, right?
That's how we think of if you're feeling not very good. But we talked about this before too. If you get a toxin in you and you need to flush it, how do you flush it? The flushing process doesn't feel comfortable because your water in your body starts turning from jelly into water and it starts oozing that stuff out. So the current hypothesis is that all of these bodies around have been toxified.
Yeah.
And they're emitting all this toxin message of, oh my God, there's a toxin in the world. And
so if you're close
to them, your body picks it up. Mm-hmm. So it says, oh, geez, we better, start flushing whatever we just recently put in or something. Mm-hmm. And so that starts that process. So to mitigate it, because, you don't really want to hold the toxins in, let the toxins flush, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it seems like at night, or when you want to rest, or when you wake up in the morning, you feel like, hey, I don't want to feel miserable right now. Mm-hmm. We were trying to use our chaga and our vitamin A, C, ADK, vitamin C, vitamin D, get sunshine and healthy air and good clean water and things like that to support our bodies, but it didn't work this last week.
Well, we didn't do it beforehand. We just started it after they came back.
No, we do it all the time.
We do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do. I mean, our vitamins levels are fine.
Okay.
We take them relatively frequently. I mean, we're not religious about it, but we're not religious about anything.
It's true.
No dogma here.
No, it's true.
But what I found remarkable was our friend Fred. He said for the last 30 years he's been using the same silver stuff, colloidal silver. And we have some colloidal silver, and I tried it before.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know if it did anything or not.
Right.
But he said, oh, this one, I gargle with it, and it fixes it instantly. It's like, well, geez.
Because what happened when they got here?
They tried the vitamins and it didn't work.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. But also, you got it.
I got sick.
Got it.
You got sick.
Yeah.
We all got headaches and sore. It's not a sore throat, but it was like tight and burning in my throat.
Yeah. Burny chest.
And I had a headache, and it felt like my sinus headache.
Yeah.
And aspirin wouldn't do nothing to it. Just misery. Just feeling under the weather. Not go to bed and pull the covers up. But it's tough to have a day to day because my body's fighting something. Or flushing or whatever, something, yeah. So anyway, that's why Fred said we'll try the silver thing. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay. I've tried the silver stuff before. But he went and tried it, and his eyes brightened. Like, he said, wow, that shit worked really fast. I said, all right, lay it on me. So he gets this just jug of clean water, and then he pours in like, I don't know, 5 or 10 drops of this stuff, and it makes the liquid turn gold.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Really pretty liquid. And so I took some of that liquid and I gargled it. And I gargled it for about 10 seconds. Headache, 0. Sinus thing, 0. Throat thing, 0. In 10 seconds.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Then remember I brought some to you? You said, what the hell is this? It's like, just gargle it. He said, tell me what it is.
Guess it looks like pee.
It looks like golden. The golden elixir, I said. It's not pee. Oh my gosh. Like, I would bring you a cup of pee.
I don't know. You're a freaking shaman. I don't know what you would bring.
I have heard that pee works, but I'm not going to try it.
You're a healing shaman, and I'm going to ask everything that you bring to find out what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Bat wings and God knows what in it.
God knows what. Well, yeah, you won't eat none of the mushrooms. I know that. I have to sneak those in the spaghetti.
I mean, I can't eat spaghetti.
Then you won't eat the spaghetti because it tastes funny.
Yeah, it tastes funny.
So, back to the... you took a gargle of it, and what happened?
Yeah, I felt better instantly. It was really amazing.
A couple days later, same kind of a situation, same kind of feeling. I said, well, I'll just try it again. I tried it again, and it was absolutely instantly.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know why it would work, but it did.
Because it's not like a germ or bacteria or whatever. It's not virus or whatever. It's a message, and I think that the silver thing, I don't know what it does. Maybe it tells the body, or it reduces the effect of that thing. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, it's quite strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it works.
So with the why, we can work on. I remember that last week we were asking, hey, we need to find out something, and I thought you were going to make us a meditation or something. A meditation that would mitigate this effect of going out and being associated with the rest of the humanity,
Yeah, we're still looking at that.
But
I also think it might have been some sort of EMF in the store.
Yeah, it could have been that.
Maybe they have
we don't
a
know what
5G
it is.
tower on top of it or something. We don't know what it is, but
whatever
it's
caused
really annoying
us to get sick too.
Yeah,
feeling.
it did. From them, And it was just instant. It wasn't like a slow build-up of it.
Yeah, a few days later you're sick. It wasn't any of that.
No.
It was...
Instant. Yeah. It's almost like an allergic reaction, right?
Yeah, that does sound right.
Yeah.
So the silver stuff that we used is called Natural Path Silver Wings. Trusted silver brand since 1994. Colloidal Silver. 500 ppm.
Okay.
So you put in a little bit in a glass of water and then you gargle that. And Fred said don't drink it.
No, because it kills your...
Kills your bacteria in your stomach or something.
Yeah, your biome.
But if you gargle it, works like a champ. And if you got problems in your nose, you can sniff it into your nose a little bit until you feel like you got surfer's nose, which I'm guessing means it burns a little bit. Oh, okay. Then you're fixed in your nose. Right. And he said he'd been doing that for 20 or 30 years. So this stuff's been around for a while. That's good. Yeah. So if you're feeling it, give it a go. Yeah. Concentrated bottle stuff.
It also kills mites.
What, where?
Well, I was reading about some horrible dog mites that go into cats and rabbits and people. People catch them too. They're really, really bad. Yeah. And they cause hair loss and all sorts of stuff. They're called the walking dandruff mite. Extremely difficult to get rid of. But people have been trying colloidal silver with coconut oil, spraying it on their pets and rubbing it into their own heads and arms, whatever. Yeah. And it kills it.
Well, it's one of those things, we try a lot of stuff.
We do.
And when we find something that functions well for a thing, then we share it. That's a good strategy, I guess. How about the Brown's gas?
Oh, well, I'm still loving it. My brain's getting better and better. I had irreversible brain damage when I was 18. Deleted a whole side of my brain with numbers and music. And these days I'm pretty good at remembering numbers, and I'm just able to do more of that type of connection, And it's from, the only thing I've done is, I haven't done anything else. The only thing I've done is the Brown's gas.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, that machine in our house, the Shamachak, gets a lot of use of all of the tools, techniques, whatever's. That one is on full time.
It is, yeah.
Hi, puppy. Pee-Pee's trying to get comfortable.
She is.
She would like to chew on the wire.
She was chewing on the wire. I hope you couldn't hear it.
I hope the wire's still working.
I know. It was a close call there, and hopefully it's not chewed through, because it's very thin.
That brings me to one more thing. I was just reading a little note earlier at breakfast from James.
Registered nurse from South California. James, you know who you are.
Yeah, James. What did you think about that?
I liked it. I think it has a lot of potential. I like his energy.
Right.
I think that, maybe some background information.
Yeah, maybe background, and where can they find that little letter? That letter's on Talk With Me. Oh, Inelia Benz chat on Telegram. Yeah. And you can look at the letter.
He's a nurse for many years, registered nurse. And when the whole COVID thing hit, he was working in South California. And, in the letter he explains, who he works for. He likes this person as a leader.
Well, yeah, the guy that's in charge of their owner of their healthcare network.
Right.
The hospitals or whatever it is.
And they did their best, they carried on. And they did everything they could to continue having this system
supporting
work.
Their patients and supporting their doctors and nurses and each other and doing what you expect them to do in hospitals.
Right. But then their leader decided that everybody had to be vaccinated.
Right, and it introduced a big, instead of team yay, let's support and help, it turned into us against them within their own network.
Right, and patients who come in who are not vaccinated get bullied, laughed at, ridiculed.
And other nurses that aren't.
Also, including him.
Bullied and ridiculed and called stupid. And that's not the spirit that
he joined that network with, Right. That wasn't the spirit he's used to or supports.
I think
so he wrote a letter to the owner, explaining what was going on. And I thought the letter was marvelous.
Open letter.
Yeah, an open letter. But there's the but.
there is the little but, yeah, because a high frequency leader, right?
Yeah, you can tell that James is a leader and compassionate, high frequency man.
He's there in the nursing world because of his high frequency nature,
exactly.
healing nature.
And my message to James would be organize and begin the new structure of healthcare on the planet, the high frequency one. Just drop the old, because it's not going to change. You're not going to change this man's mind or the bullying that's going on. You need to step out of that and create your own. And I know that you probably have a mortgage and you've been there for many years.
Got
and
seniority,
financially, it makes all sense.
Seniority and security, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So don't do it alone.
Yeah,
right?
Don't do it alone.
Gather with other healthcare providers and start new structures. Get some attorneys or lawyers, high-frequency lawyers on board to see how you can set up a healthcare structure that's legal, right? And create that somewhere that nobody gets bullied, whether they're vaccinated, not vaccinated. That's not going to be an issue. Where people do have the freedom to choose for themselves what happens to their bodies, or from their own perspective, our mind. They don't need any type of religious exemption because it is their choice. And religion, like he said in his letter, is the government does not dictate his body or his religion. So,
right, and if you need a good example for someone who you can map to, Dr. Cowan is pretty much excellent map to person.
Yes.
He was a licensed medical doctor with a medical practice in San Francisco area. Mm-hmm. Well established for decades, licensed and do the whole 9 yards. And
many patients,
and he felt he could better do what it is that he's here to do, which was
in life, heal people,
help people with their healing journeys, support them. By dropping his license, he dropped it, and moving even. He moved all the way across the country, and he collected himself on a family farm area, and he does his podcast. He has his business selling supportive herbs, minerals, detox things, and talks to interesting people each week. Yeah. So I know that the network exists of healers who are interested actually in healing high frequency people.
Oh yeah.
And key is to move out of battling, because you don't really anyways want the corporate medical system to be the way that you're receiving your healing, because it isn't actually at the end of the day structured to do that.
No, it's not structured to heal.
So sometimes these situations are the push and the pull. The push to push you into doing something that you might otherwise not do, right? Because you're too well entrenched and comfortable where you are.
Yes, that's true.
What is it, Brad?
There's a fly on the window. That's how the scratching noise was. He's jumping up at the window, trying to grab it.
Cats and flies. He found a cat in the heater. It was looking right back at him.
Really?
Yeah, his reflection. So he went to the heater and he looked behind it, up inside, to try and find that dang cat. Couldn't find him. It's a funny cat. Oh, now he's going to hang out with Peavy here.
Now they're jumping all over you.
Yeah, so I guess, excellent letter. Back to the topic. Mm-hmm. And understand,
From the letter, I can see that James has the capacity, energy, and spirit to be a great leader.
Very articulate.
Yeah, because it's responsibility over others, not power over others' leadership.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah. So we would highly encourage you, James, to do that, to take lead on this creation. And if you do a search, you'll probably find, just like Dr. Cohen, that it's possible, it's doable, and you can create this type of environment.
Right, and he has a much happier environment right now, Dr. Cohen.
Yeah.
1,000 times more. And it's only been 8 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
He has only just started.
He's only just started.
Give up his entire medical license.
Yeah.
The whole thing. He's like, actually, I don't need that to do what it is that I want to do. Mm-hmm. To do what I want to do, I just need this and that and the other.
Right.
Now he's doing it.
And I know it's very hard to drop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your entire life depends on it,
Right. Right. Well, when you have the opportunity to reimagine your life, which it seems like James has done quite a few times, because he was a boson mate in the Coast Guard.
Okay.
And now he's a registered nurse. That's a pretty big difference between those two.
Jump, yeah.
From painting to IVs. Boss of the painters. On a ship in the Coast Guard to nursing. You know, he's reimagined his life before. Yeah. As many of us probably recognize there are times in our lives that comes where it's time to reimagine. Yeah. So the convenient time to do it is usually, it'd be like, I'm in the middle of everything going perfect. Now I'm going to change everything. No. You're enjoying the perfect part. So. And,
there's also a feeling, or like, when these things happen in an organization, and the media also reflects this, they give you a feeling that everybody's doing it.
Right,
when it's not true.
Totally not
it's true. It's like our son-in-law, he's in the police force, and there where he's working, the city where he's working, they're bullying everybody to get vaccinated or take weekly tests or make it impossible, and they're receiving kind of pressure and bullying and invalidation and not everything, right? And then they're passing this law or enforcement that they said, okay, everybody has to get it, period, which is illegal, but they're gonna do it, right? Nobody cares that it's illegal, right? They don't.
Illegal morally in every way.
So he put out to find out if there's work around in other districts. And there's several districts saying, yep, come over here. We're not doing any of that BS.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa, that was unexpected, because the image that they give you is like everybody's doing it. It's a whole statewide thing.
Right, totally.
If you contact other health networks, you might be surprised to find that not everybody is bullying their employees into doing this.
Not only that, in the place that you're at, you'll probably notice there are the other nurses and whatevers that are getting bullied too because of their stance. Network with them.
Get together. Yeah.
Well, I just saw on Talk With Me now a girl. She had gone to a meeting or something. I can't remember the specifics, but she noticed that, it was an online group, and there was 6 or 8 people that were basically also aware of what the vaccine was doing and weren't interested in having it. They were getting a bit of an argument anyway. She contacted them by email and just started their own group.
Yeah. And,
so it's,
James
they're really happy to clink up with each other.
James was also clear that he doesn't go into the dynamics of whether the virus is real or vaccines are good or bad. It's nothing to do with that. It's about the freedom of a person to choose their own healthcare.
And to support a healthy network and environment.
Exactly, yeah.
He wanted
people not to be bullied or
or
invalidated,
insulted over a medical choice or a religious choice or something like that.
Yeah.
To create a healthy, supportive environment. Yeah. That's what he was interested in. Right. And he understood that he probably wasn't working there anymore. Right. They mandated that, and he's not going to do it, so that means he's going to move on, maybe. But it doesn't mean that the environment has to be so negative. He didn't like that. None of us like that.
Right.
But, sometimes, honestly, the clues that it's time to move on have been like stacking up, right?
Yes.
And then at some point or another, the clues that stack up become impossible to ignore.
Right.
And this is that.
Yeah.
Right now, it's impossible to ignore. It's spend time for you all listening to stand up and be the high frequency leader that you were born here to be.
Exactly. Yep.
That's it.
That's what you got to do. That's why you're here.
If where you are, you'll get massive amounts of resistance, then you're in the wrong place.
Don't try and swim upstream, man.
Right. You don't need to convince those who have chosen one way to change their choice because they've already made it. They made their choice in 2011, and they're gathering in their tribe.
Yep, they are.
You're not welcome.
then you're not welcome there. I remember somebody said, how do I feel about YouTube having censored my video? One of my videos, they censored it. And I said, well, imagine that you go into a house that all the walls and floor are covered in poop. And you go in there because there's a lot of people in there, a lot. And then most of them are covered in poop. And you put a little light in the middle of the room, and then people see it, and they go, oh, there's a light in here, and they start looking at the light, and then they get become enlightened or whatever you want to see it. And then the owner of the house that's covered in poop is also covered in poop and comes over and says, get out of here. You're not welcome here. How do you feel? Right? I felt, oh, thank God, finally, I don't have to be here anymore, right? It's the push out, right?
Right.
I'm going to look for elsewhere.
I'll go find a place that doesn't have walls covered with poop.
Poop, yeah.
I've been in this poop place for a while because it seemed like this is where everybody is.
Exactly, right.
And it's comfortable, uncomfortable.
No, it wasn't ever comfortable.
It's comfortable, uncomfortable. The problem is the choice that you make is effective or ineffective. Yeah. It was effective to do it there.
It was effective to do it
there. Despite the nastiness of the place.
It was effective to be there. And also, they had other little lights every now and then. You could see all these lights,
Yeah.
Whenever I wanted to learn about, digging your own well, I would go into YouTube and figure it out. Because it was, at first, it was like the poop walls were invisible. They were not even there. And it's like, they weren't like, it's not like they weren't there. I think when they first began, they were not there. The people who originally founded it, they did it with the right spirit. But then it got bought out. But the poop walls became very visible very recently, and the stench also became very visible recently to me in the last 2 years. Before that, I didn't know. It was invisible to me. I had some suspicions.
Yeah.
Right? When they started releasing like the adult content, and
on YouTube,
they have an adult content like option.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
I haven't seen it.
I know. It's because they put it somewhere that people can search for it and subscribe to it, right? But not like on their public stuff. Then I became suspicious, and
I never heard of that.
This type of videos that didn't get banned also is like, whoa. They were really low frequency stuff. It's almost like you start seeing it a little bit at a time, and then eventually when they started banning everybody that was not following the narrative of healthcare or government, and it's like, yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. And then, we started looking for other channels. Now we have brand YouTube. That's where we are right now. And we still put things on YouTube, but we don't even follow through and like to see what the people are doing or linking to them or anything. It's like, it's there. And I have had more than one of my videos censored.
Or your Facebook.
My Facebook got hacked, and they don't care. I'm trying to get it deleted because, it's a violation of trademarked name. So hopefully they'll delete it. But yeah, the Facebook's thing was very, very similar. It's like, I never found it comfortable there. It was always very dark, but it was effective. Right? This is where you can reach people. And so Daniela and I, back in the day, 2010, we started the page, and we thought, okay, so we're going to have a goal of 10,000 people on our page, and then that's going to be the success, right? That's going to be it. And we got it. And now the page, just one page has 47. That's the one that got hacked. 47,000 or something. And then the other page has about 30 or 40,000. So, people were following it. But it was really, really difficult for me to go in there and make any comments or anything because it was so dark, right? So insidiously nasty. And the energy around it, everything was very addictive, which wasn't good to me. It wasn't good energy to be. And a few months ago, we decided, what, we're going to drop it. We're going to Telegram instead.
Right, that's more direct. And it's more, I've been enjoying it a lot more. It's more like a conversation with each other instead of a conversation with the Facebook AI deciding who it is that I'm talking to today.
Exactly, yeah. Anybody who subscribes to our channel gets all our information, not just some of it. Right?
Yeah.
And they can respond, and their responses are visible to everyone.
Yeah.
Not just what, the machinery decides.
You get to look at, because it's most relevant. Or
right, the
whatever.
most relevant, whatever's, yeah. So we've been quite happy with that. So it's moving out of those really nasty environments and structures and moving into new structures that are better, as far as I'm concerned, more high frequency, more freedom. And again, it's like, brand YouTube, Telegram, I'm sure they have all sorts of broadly, different political views, religious views, or whatever's from other users, but it's not up to it's like, unless it's illegal or whatever's, it's not really the concern of the company to decide what people post, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like highly illegal and really, really nasty, right?
I guess, yep.
But so find new networks, find new locations, and it's a push-pull, right?
Right.
You're pushed out of somewhere and pulled into something new. So you need new environments, new locations, and we can't play on the dark side anymore.
They don't mix well anymore.
They don't mix well, no.
Right. Well, yeah, so it's like you went from Facebook with 50,000 people to
more
Telegram
50,
with 0. You started 0 again. But
it's actually way more effective.
Yeah, even if, it's way more effective. Yeah. Because as the place is available, those who are attracted to that go there, and those who are not attracted to that, they don't. Mm-hmm. So you're having a conversation with those who want to hear.
Exactly, yeah. Yep.
There's everyone's free choice involved.
Yep.
That's partly what it is with Facebook, huh? It's like not exactly a violation of free will, because going there, you've signed a little I agree box to have all of my data mined and all of my posts marketed and advertised and
covered in poop.
And covered in poop. And I say, yes, do that. Because I want to see.
Yeah.
So, but most people, even though they clicked on to agree, they're not going to read 50 pages of that stuff to find out in legalese what it is that we just said. Mm-hmm. So they just sign, okay, I agree, and accept or assume that they are going to produce, their page, the Facebook pages. They're going to do what's there, like they themselves might think about it. So in other words, we mostly project our own values on what other people are doing.
Right.
So we assume, most of us as light workers, that
everything's good.
Everything's fine. Yeah, sure, they sell me for advertising, but I mean, that's okay. Yeah. I gotta watch ads once in a while, that's okay.
But at least it's free.
It's free, yeah, I don't have to pay for
service.
Yeah.
With money, we don't pay with money.
Right.
Pay with your soul, but not the money.
Speaking of pay with your soul. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of paying with your soul, what?
Yeah, we were watching Preacher.
Oh no, yes. What a weird show.
What a weird show. I can't say that I recommend it, but at the same time, I can't say
you don't recommend
I'm not done watching it.
It's a very, very, very dark comedy show. Very dark comedy show. It's good. It does have a lot of blood and guts.
Yes, I'll say.
That traumatize your physical body.
It's so graphic
that's a
novel.
Warning. Graphic novel, yeah.
So graphic novels, I guess, are graphic.
Very graphic.
And this definitely counts as graphic.
Mm-hmm. But it has its moments, like when the folders of evil people, right? The most evil people on the planet.
Yes.
There was like Hitler, there was somebody else, and then there was Dick Cheney. So it has its moments of, comedy that are very funny. The whole black and white thing, and it was interesting. One of the scenes where the really good kid that everybody thinks is evil got sent to hell, and then the people who run hell told him, "I see that you're kind-hearted, good kid, and that you're care for other people." And so I says, "Oh yeah, thank you, ma'am." He says, "Well, that behavior is not accepted here, so none of that.
None of that in hell.
You have to, none of that, right? You have to be the other."
That's quite hilarious.
Like, oh, And then when Hitler was getting beat up and he told them to stop, and then he looked around and looked at the camera, oh, I can't be good. And then he started beating up on Hitler too, remember?
Yeah, I missed that part, actually.
Yeah, it's like conform, right? Conform. You're going to be here, conform.
If you're going to be in hell, you need to be a bastard.
Yeah. You can't be a good person in hell, so just conform and be bad.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what people are being asked to do in all these organizations. If you're going to stay here, conform.
Yes.
And if you're not going to conform, leave.
Leave. This place is for those who've chosen this.
Exactly, yeah.
So you need to support those who've chosen this.
Right.
And you can't support those who've chosen this by not choosing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, most of us like to think of our day, well, maybe not most of us that listen here, think of our day and our life as the 3D physical manifestation of what's happening day to day to day to day, and the energy part of life, like this particular time being a physical split time. It only enters the equation if you pause for a minute to look at it from a wider perspective, like expand your awareness, right? I know you do this all day, every day, but lots of people enjoy staying in the narrow vision and just having the experience of life. But when you go down having that experience of life and you encounter something like you have to do something that if you do it, you've chosen a light, dark reality. Mm-hmm. So you naturally feel your hackles rise and you got to resist and fight, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But you ignore the fact that there are plenty who want that, 70+%. They want the light, dark experience.
They do.
It's you who doesn't want it.
Right.
So they see you as
insane.
Yeah. They see you as
evil.
Evil. Yeah. Their reality and your reality aren't compatible. There's no other way to stay it.
Right.
So move into a different reality, the one that you are compatible with. Mm-hmm. And don't fight really, really hard to stay in the one that you aren't compatible with.
Exactly.
Don't fight tooth and nail to get your Facebook page back. It's like, you hacked it? Fuck, delete it. Get rid of it. Don't need it. Don't want it. Mm-hmm. If you want to find me, you know where I am.
Yep. My Telegram. Ineliabenz.com.
Right. So when you move out of resistance into flow, is that kind of like what you talked about before, jumping into the middle of the river?
Exactly. Remember the Hopi message? Right? I have a video on it where I read it, but it's not my message. It's the Hopi elder, anonymous Hopi elder who said it. And it's about these times, right?
Right.
And it said, don't hold on to the banks, the river banks. You have to go into the middle of the river and stop being sad about the people who are still in the banks or holding on to the bank and drowning. Don't be sad about that. Rejoice. Look around you, see who else is with you in the middle of the river, and rejoice.
Rejoice with who's in the middle of the river.
With you. Who's with you. Right?
Yeah.
So,
let go of the bank.
Yeah. And the river is your frequency. That's what it is. Your river is your frequency. Your high frequency person, compassionate, loving person. That's the river. Right? So rejoice with other people who are there. And let go of the others. Let go.
Yep, it's probably relevant to understand that not all times are the same time.
Right.
This time is shift time. Mm-hmm. Shift time means different reaction, response to push-pulls.
Right. And either connected to this episode or attached to it, I'm not sure how Ilia is going to do it.
Oh, that treat. Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a treat.
Oh my gosh.
It's a meditation, an exercise that you can do.
I highly recommend.
Yeah. And that's going to be part of this, because this is part of what we're here to do, is be the collective, high frequency collective. Be the high frequency humane human, right? And to do that, you have to go back to how we used to be, the connected individuals we used to be. Nowadays, it's in, maybe you've heard or seen movies where a shaman listens to the wind, or looks at the smoke, or looks at the river and the bubbles, and they know what those things are saying.
Right.
It's because they're connected. They're connected to the larger self, to the larger collective, to the larger planetary collective. They're one. And we, as high-frequency individuals, that's what we have to embody. We have to go back to that connectedness. And this exercise will assist in the way, basically. Assist you in becoming that. That gives you broader perspective, but also allows you gives you the power.
The certainty too.
Yeah, and the power to easily flow in within your frequency with others and co-create that marvelous new paradigm that we're here to birth through our own embodiment of it.
So it's like high frequency human collective, high frequency collective, period. Does this support us?
Yeah.
This action?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully Ilia will attach it to this podcast, but also put it in independently so people can just listen to the exercise and do it.
Where would they find it then, you think?
In the podcast, in our podcast.
I mean, the separate.
Oh, the separate one in the podcast too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably
that's a good place for it.
Brand YouTube as well. Brand YouTube.
Maybe at ineliabenz.com
@ Inelia Benz.
I'm sorry, I overspoke. Go ahead, start over again. So, where do people go to find the... Well, it should be after we'd finished talking.
Yes.
But on its own, standalone, the little meditation.
Ineliabenz.com.
Ineliabenz.com, plus this podcast.
Plus the podcast.
It'll probably be
channel.
Its own issue.
Yeah,
separated.
Channel, yeah.
Yep. Okay, and then...
BrandNewTube.
BrandNewTube.com
/ @IneliaBenz.
Oh, okay. BrandNewTube, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Boy, you put a lot of work on Ilia.
Yeah. Ilia also uploaded to YouTube.
Oh no, YouTube too.
Yeah.
But not on Facebook. How about Telegram?
Telegram, yeah, definitely the Inelia Benz channel at Telegram.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
so it should be very easy to find. And should people share it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why would they share it? Would they show it to everybody or just to high frequency people?
Everybody. Just share it with everyone.
Oh.
And people who are low frequency are going to throw it in the trash. And it's fine.
Okay. So why do they share it? I mean, it should be obvious, but why do they share it? To share the connection, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
In other words, this is your invitation. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, I hear your XYZ and XYZ. I have a very interesting XYZ podcast meditation I thought you might enjoy. What do you think?
Or not even qualify it that way. It says, I really like this podcast exercise.
Yeah.
So...
What do you think?
No, not even that. Oh, well, you would because you like the converse.
Well, the whole point, is to
connect.
Mm-hmm. Connect with
Tell me what you
your high frequency tribe. You got to have an invitation for a response.
Yeah, that's true.
Because lone wolves otherwise will say like,
here it is, bye.
Here it is, bye.
And that's my tendency.
Yeah, I could see it poking up there. Like,
oh, yes.
Hello, honey. You need a response.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yes, yeah.
I would suggest that you ask, just so that you start creating your tribe around you. You could share this out. This might be one of the calling cards that helps you break the ice to open the conversation that, hey, I didn't know you were such a cool person that you would like this kind of thing. Right. Yeah. Uh-huh. There you go.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to remind people, and I mean, we talked a little bit about how, James has had an experience within the health service of other nurses and doctors bullying patients and each other, other doctors and other nurses. And it's very negative, it's very bad, it's very horrible. But you have to also remember that not every person who got the jab or supports the jab is a bad person, right?
Yeah, they're not a bad person.
They're not bad people. All they're doing is choosing to continue with the life that you've had for the past...
Up till now.
Yeah, X amount of years up to now, but now you're choosing something different.
Right.
Right? You're choosing free will, you're choosing...
high frequency.
Sovereignty, high frequency experiences on the planet. This is what you're choosing. They're choosing what they've had for the past 4,000 years.
They like what they have and they want to keep it.
They want to keep it. That doesn't make them bad, evil people. That just makes them people who want to carry on living the life that you've led up to this point.
Right.
So they're still good people. It's just that they don't make the same choices you did. Okay? Yeah, a lot of people are falling into righteousness, but I could say the same about high-frequency people falling into righteousness.
Definitely.
Right? It's like,
but,
it's really hard not to when you're in the middle of a split. Yeah. But remember that. So don't see them as the enemy. They're not. And what I've talked a lot about what could happen and what I have seen happening to these individuals who got jabbed, and it didn't look good. It looked like either extreme bad health, death, or disconnection. Like you can't connect with them anymore. Somehow their humanity got slashed somehow.
The connection
got slashed
to the high frequency reality that you're in.
Mm-hmm. So it's not that they're evil people, and it's like, yeah, it's not looking good, and all these people dying after a short illness all over the world. It's it's worrying, right? It's like, yeah, this is a direct result of the jab, and we can see it clearly, and other people can see it clearly, and doctors all over the world and nurses all over the world are speaking up against it, right? But I know that, the letter from James was very clear. He's not partaking in that dialogue, whether it's real, not real, harmful, not harmful. He's very well focused on people have a choice.
The environment of bullying and
and not bullying
mandates.
People into doing things that they don't want.
Exactly.
Right? But from my perspective, my personal perspective, it is a choice point. It's a point of embodying what you want to experience on the planet. And from my perspective and what I have seen, and now there's evidence to say, yeah, you saw correctly. And it was tough on me too when I saw it.
Yeah.
It was really tough on both of us, Larry and I. When I looked, because he just made an innocent question, because when somebody poses a question for me, and I find it interesting in going and investigate.
Right.
And I do have some mystical skills.
Some,
right?
I say some a lot.
And when he said, I don't know where this virus came from, where did it come from? And I said, okay, I'll look. And I searched and I followed the energy line, and I couldn't find it. And I looked and I panicked a little bit. And then I turned around and I said to him, there is no virus.
Don't say that, honey.
Yeah.
People think you're batty.
Yeah, exactly.
You're totally off your rocker.
Yeah, that's totally off the rocker. I said, I know, it's horrible, but there isn't. And then I said, and then it's like, viruses exist. And I said, okay, I'll have a look, see, where's the other viruses? And I started trying to look for viruses on the planet. And there weren't none. And then I totally kind of plopped, right?
Shh, don't say that, honey.
I plopped. Totally. It's like, what? And then it was like, I wasn't even talking about it, because even I felt it's like, I need more data, I need more information.
Wait a minute.
I need confirmation about this, because it's just nuts. And then who said it? Who said it publicly and without reservation or apology was Dr. Cowan.
Yep, and his friend Dr. Lenka, who did he
research.
Carried out the exact experiments that they used to prove there's a virus.
Yeah, to try and prove it. He was
to try and prove it or disprove it. It's called the scientific method.
Yeah.
You have an experiment, you repeat it, and you get the same result.
Right. And he found out it
was complete and utter total horseshit.
And I thought, then I relaxed and I thought, thank goodness somebody else, a doctor.
Someone who knows about these things.
And
this is their environment and their world, and they're educated, and they've spent their entire life immersed in this. Yeah, found the same result
that I did
that you found, looking mystically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then I thought, okay, and I started saying it, but you were still uncomfortable with it, right? Until you weren't anymore. And then I tried to explain, and I remember saying this, like how trees work and how they give each other messages about disease and stuff like that. And also the other thing that I've known, I can't remember, I think one of my sons told me, or it could have been from before, I can't even remember who said it to whom, but it's like when insects attack a plant in your house or in your garden, it's not that the insects are killing the plant, it's that there's an imbalance. The plant is sick, the tree is sick, and that's why the insects are killing it. There's an imbalance somewhere in the environment.
Yep.
So you find the imbalance and you fix that, and then the insects stop killing the plant. However, there is you have to, I had a couple of very, very sick plants that I adopted recently, and they were covered in the little white mites, and they were dying. So I changed their pots and everything. I found that they didn't have enough oxygen. There was too many plants in one pot. That was the first thing. But then I washed with Blue Dawn, the leaves and everything, water and Dawn. I washed all the leaves off and we wiped all the insects away. Why? Because sometimes the invading force that's reacting actually to a sick plant can overcome the plant's own system. So we got rid of them all. And then a few days ago, this was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then a few days ago I went to check on the plants, and one of them was again getting covered in the insects.
Oh, right? Wow.
So I treated it again to kill the insects, to get rid of them. And then I started touching the plant, right? And it was so weak because the movement of pot had weakened its root system.
Right.
So it still needed support. Getting rid of the insects was supporting it until its roots gets established in the pot, and then it can be healthy again, right?
Right.
So it's like, don't condemn the plant because it's full of insects and it's because it's imbalanced and sick, right? It's like that healing energy. Find how can you make it stronger? Okay, it didn't work the first time. Find it again. See how can you make it stronger, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you don't put that plant in the middle of the desert. It's the wrong environment. It's going to kill it. So a 5G filled city is the wrong environment for
a human.
Right? Don't put it there, especially a sensitive human.
Okay. I promise not to put any humans there. What if you find yourself there?
Make sure that you support yourself so that you don't, get sick.
Okay.
Take the colloidal silver.
Have a gargle of silver. Net for your bed. Maybe even make some efforts to get out of the city. Yeah. Although I sure did love New York City. Boy, this last week wasn't so exciting there. Floods and everything. They had a hurricane.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so flow within your frequency. If you flow within your frequency, you will find yourself and the allies that you need to succeed. Your good allies, good counsel. That's what you need to succeed, and you will flow in with them together and be supported and supportive of the human collective. The human collective loves you like crazy. It really does.
Okay. Very nice.
Did you feel it?
Yes. Makes you a little bit warm and tingly.
Yeah.
Feel complete, honey?
Yep.
Ready for your meditation?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Skoden.
Skoden. We took an Indian. Indian.
Give me a kiss.
Relax into your physical body. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. Good. And I want you to feel into the high frequency human collective. I want you to feel that expression within Gaia. And of course, Gaia is included in this field, expression of the high frequency human collective, and that field of awareness that is you. Step into it. Allow everything else to fall away and just be that expression, be that grandness, be that expanded awareness.
Feel the love. Allow that energy, that chi, that power that we experience as love. Feel it. Allow it to flow through you, through your physical body, through all of that you are. Allow it to flow, to be, to wash away everything else. Allow yourself to receive that chi, that power, that love. Finally, allow that to express within you. Yes, I am this high frequency human collective. Yes, I am loved, cared for, supported, encouraged, nourished with this larger me, larger us. Feel the joy, feel and hear the laughter, the welcome, feel the embrace. Finally, you're here. Finally, we are us again. Feel that love. Be open to receiving and being that larger self. Feel that love and bring it back with you into your physical body. And express to your physical body all that love, all that chi. And receive that from your physical body that is the same. The physical body, elemental collective, that high frequency expression, the physical body elementals collective. Finally, it says, welcome. We love you. We adore you. And you adore it and them. Throughout time and space, you travel together in love and collaboration, expansion, joy, creating new paths in the universes, retaking this planet into its natural frequency, joining with that intelligence, that collective knowingness that supports, that loves, that wants the absolutely best for you and expects the best from you. Because you are it and it is you. With that feeling of yourself, your collective, and your physical body and your physical body collective. Imagine and feel how those connections, those threads are reconnecting, coming back together again. Strength in strength and power and joy. And allow that to exist. With that energy, come back to present time because it's all happening now. Back to your body, back to your life, and bring that energy with you as part of your new experience on Earth. Every day. Take a deep breath. And you can breathe in and out this reality, this truthfulness. Feel it. You're loved. You are love. We love you. And you love us. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Welcome home.